What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 5, Shadow Warrior. So this one was pretty interesting. I wasn't really sure how they were going to continue on from the last episode, only because even though this is technically continuing the story of Rebels, this is called Ahsoka. So it's not like you could just leave Ahsoka behind, not focus on her, and continue to focus on Sabine out in some other world. So I wasn't really sure what to expect. I knew we were going to tackle whatever happened at the end of last episode with Ahsoka appearing in this other world with Anakin, but I didn't really have any theories about how this was going to go. So yeah, I don't know what that world was supposed to be still. Again, it seemed like some sort of afterlife. I don't know if that's connected at all to that place that Ezra brought Ahsoka into the one time, but it was fine. I liked it. I think it was a pretty good representation showing Ahsoka's got regrets that she still hasn't really gotten over yet, between the first battle that she led people into that died, the time that she led the attack on Mandalore, and then of course what happened with Anakin. Those were seemingly the three biggest regrets that she has in her life at the moment. And it's a matter of, do you just want to put it all behind you and just say, I can't live with this anymore, or do you want to try to push past it and continue to live? And I think that's kind of what was being represented here. I don't know for sure because it was left up in the air a little bit to interpretation, I think. But that's how I took it, is she had the choice to either say, hey, you've got all this stuff that happened in the past that you regret that you didn't do something correctly. Do you want to just be done with it and end it all? Be basically not have to be reminded of those regrets anymore? Or do you want to live even with those regrets and push past and continue to fight? And I think in the end, ultimately, we saw she chose to continue to fight and live. So I think it was a pretty solid representation. Hayden Christensen coming back to play Anakin again, I thought he did fine. You know, it still had a couple of moments where definitely his vocal delivery can be a little flat here and there. But, I mean, overall, it's... God... I don't even think saying it's 100 times better than his performance in the original prequels. I don't think that does it justice. It's just the smiles that he gives, the playful energy he gives in the first scene, the first battle that we see, all of that, the conversation he has with Ahsoka. There's just something. There's humanity there that was not there in the prequels. It's incredible to see what happens whenever he's given a director that tells him, I guess, not to play it like a mindless, heartless robot. Again, I know that's kind of the point because, he becomes Darth Vader, who's robotic. He's still a human before he becomes Darth Vader, though. Like, come on. But no, I'm glad he's kind of gotten to do a little bit of justice for himself in the Obi-Wan show and then here in Ahsoka as well. I think he started to rewrite the script a little bit and show, hey, I can do better than that. I don't sound like that whenever I'm normally acting. So yeah, great to see more of him. As far as the stuff going on the outside, I mean, it's pretty standard. We see Hera obviously has led this mission here. Now they go to find Ahsoka. Obviously, the people in charge are not happy about this. I really hope we find out there's corruption. I don't know. There's just something about the idea that, these people are just that stupid, that they do not want to see that there's an issue here, that there's something else going on, and to the point where they're sending these giant fleets to go after Hera because she left her post to do this on her own. I really hope they're not that dumb. I would much prefer to find out that some of these people in charge are still loyal to the Empire, and so they're trying to sweep this under the rug because they don't want people to know what they're trying to do, trying to bring back Thrawn and all that. Because that would just be, it would be so much more interesting and less annoying to have characters like that. But I don't know. I feel like that's what's going to be leading to. It's going to be like Order of the Phoenix all over again. Oh, he's back. Oh, no shit. Of course he's back. It's all Harry's been trying to tell you, and Dumbledore too, this entire... Anyways. But we see the ending, and I kind of figured the Purgle were going to come into it somehow. I didn't know how. Gotta say, as soon as she started talking about, yes, that's the big one, that'll do. I'm thinking, okay, so basically they're going to get into the mouth of one of the giant ones and have them take them, which I will say her kind of lackadaisical attitude at the end is a little odd. I don't know. Maybe she's doing it just to mess with Hu Yang a little bit, but she already knows because she had a communication with this whale, and she already knows that this whale is going to take her exactly. I guess. Can I call them whales? Is that okay? Can I call them whales, because that's all I can. Whenever I'm thinking about them, I think they're space whales. I know they're called Purgle, and I tried to say Purgle, but then my brain defaulted back to whales. I hope that doesn't offend anybody if you want to be entirely accurate. But I just really hope that that was her whole thing, was she just was wanting to mess with Hu Yang. She's like, oh yeah, I don't know where he's going to take us, but I mean, you have to be a little bit more concerned than that because Sabine's life is in danger. If you don't get to where you need to go, she could be killed. So I don't feel like this little lackadaisical thing is appropriate. I know it's played more so for laughs, I would assume. But anyways, yeah, I think it's pretty solid episode overall, though. It's more Ahsoka centered, and I think that's good, being the title character and all, but I am also excited to get back to the main plot because I'm a huge Rebels fan and I want to see what's going to happen next. So, with all that being said, though, on to the next episode. I'll see you there. And now, episode 6, Far, Far Away. It's funny because I was just talking about in the last episode that Ahsoka is the name of the show, so there's a good chance that we're going to be focused on Ahsoka, even if it's going to be also talking about the story of Rebels and finding Ezra and Thrawn and all of that. And then the very next episode, no Ahsoka at all. I don't know, it's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, this one, it's a good setup episode for the final 2 episodes. We see Thrawn for the first time, which unfortunately I was spoiled on that. I assumed that they were going to find Thrawn, because why would you spend this whole show building up to that and then just not have him? But I was spoiled. I have seen pictures of him, so it's not like this comes as a surprise that he actually is still alive and he's formed this army. I knew he was going to be involved, but as far as where it's going from here, I don't know. I mean, again, in my mind, this is probably the catalyst that sets up for the First Order, but I don't really understand how or why. It feels different than the First Order, because the First Order was obviously still Palpatine working in the background. I don't know how that works. I'm hoping there's some answers for that, but this is the Night Sisters that are on this world. I don't think this is Dathomir. I'm pretty sure this isn't Dathomir, because Dathomir's in the same galaxy as everything we've seen. This one is a galaxy that's so far away that you have to have a map that points you to it. So I don't know if this is like the Night Sisters or the Night Mothers or whatever. I don't know if this is where they originally come from, or if they're somehow connected to this ancient group that they're talking about that apparently used to live here. I don't know. There's a lot of questions that I have for all of this that I don't know for sure if it's going to get explained or not. But as far as this whole episode is concerned, I mean, it's pretty standard. You got Sabine running off to find Ezra. She finally does. It's a nice moment. I think well acted. No complaints there. Obviously, his reaction to finding out that Sabine basically brought people here to get Thrawn out. I'm hoping it's not going to turn into something like a liar reveal type of story where he finds out and then he's like upset with her and doesn't want to talk to her or whatever. I don't know. Just tell him you made a mistake, but it's because you wanted to see him. And sure, there might be a little bit of frustration, but I'm worried that she's not going to tell him. He's going to find out from somebody else, and then there's going to be this whole, I can't believe you didn't tell me. You sacrificed my sacrifice just to find me, and now we're both going to die anyway. I don't know. We'll see how they handle it, but I am a little worried about how that story is going to go. As far as Thrawn is concerned, though, I mean, I'm surprised he still has such a large army, to be honest. It's pretty, I don't know, whenever he and Ezra were taken away by the Purgle, I wasn't entirely sure where they were going to go, but I kind of figured that was it for him. You know, even if he did survive, I didn't think he would have much power. And I figured the only reason they're trying to bring him back is because he commands authority, and obviously he's a great strategist. I don't... For some reason, that word's not coming to me right now. I think it's Strategen, but I could be wrong. But I figure they're bringing him back because he commands respect and he's intelligent enough to work up a plan to get the Empire back in order. So that's where my mindset is. I honestly don't know what's going on with Baylan at all, because he seems to have a completely different idea in mind of what he wants for the future. I don't know what that could be. He talks about this cycle of good guys rise up, they take over, and then the bad guys take over them, and the good guys take over them. And he says he wants to put an end to it all. So I don't know if he's trying to like break out of the fourth wall and just go destroy Disney so they stop making Star Wars stuff. That's the only thing that comes to mind. And I doubt that this show's going to do that. So it really is kind of out there. And I'm not entirely sure where a lot of this story is headed. I'm excited. I want to see how this story is going to wrap up, but they've left me with a lot of questions that I'm not entirely sure how many of them are going to be answered. I mean, I would assume Baylan's motive will be. I'll assume that probably the stuff with the Night Sisters that are there and who this ancient civilization is that built this stuff and lives in this galaxy. I'm going to assume that a lot of that probably will not be answered. But I am, I guess, a little disappointed on the world building, though, in that aspect, because, like I said, I don't expect most of this to get explained. And honestly, it's not really that interesting looking. It looks like everything else. It looks like another world with, you got buildings, you got these big landscapes with grass everywhere. Yeah, some kind of different looking creatures, but not really. These things are not so far out there that I'm like, holy crap, this is a totally different galaxy. It looks just like any of the planets that they visit in their own galaxy. So I was kind of hoping for maybe a little bit more creativity there, but I think that's just my own personal brain and imagination running wild and thinking about all the possibilities of what are they going to do? What are they going to make these creatures look like? You know, is it going to be something that doesn't even look alien or human? It looks just, I don't know, beings made of paper. I don't know. Something really out there, but no, it's just creepy little bug things and then guys that look like Tusken Raiders almost. So it's a fine episode and it sets up well, like I said, for the final two, but I have my slight disappointments here and there with some of the, I guess, the lore of this other galaxy. They really were building it up, but I guess really it's not this other galaxy that's the exciting part that they've been building up to. It's getting to see Thrawn again, and obviously for the heroes, getting to see Ezra. That's been the big build-up. But for me, I was excited to see a whole nother galaxy, to see what it looks like in this world of Star Wars, where they already are in such a large galaxy with so many different worlds. How can you expand upon that by going to a whole another galaxy? They didn't. It looks exactly the same. I feel like that's just a bit of a missed opportunity, at least for me. But who knows? Maybe I'm the only one that was expecting something else from this. Maybe not. If you're out there and you agree with me, please let me know so I don't feel alone. But yeah, overall, solid 2 episodes, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this is all going to wrap up. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on these 2 episodes? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Ahsoka reviews. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.